Plenty of racing games have been released over the years. Even friends of motorised two-wheelers have received some hot games to keep them entertained. Today, we are taking a look at 5 of the most interesting motorcycle games. There's hardly a track in the world that is as feared, as malicious, but also as fascinating as the 60-kilometre long Snaefell Mountain Course, better known as the racetrack of Isle of Man's Tourist Trophy Race. This course was previously featured in the video game TT Isle of Man, with mediocre success in 2018. But 2 years later, developer Killerton tried it a second time in spring 2020. TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge 2 is much better than its predecessor. This version is accurate in every detail and every metre you ride on the Snaefell Mountain Course. Plus, this game also offers the perfect feeling of speed, astonishing engine acoustics, and a formidable set of extra challenges. We get real riders and bikes on top, though bikes are limited to models from BMW, Honda and Ducati. At least a few historical bikes made it into the second game for the perfect feeling. The handling is also far better than in the first video game, but it's still not perfect and needs some improvements. Missing setup options are also a shortcoming for every biker. The multiplayer part doesn't have much to offer either. There is no split screen mode, and a maximum of 8 players can compete against each other in the races, either online or at the same time, or one after the other locally. Nevertheless, TT Isle of Man is an eye-catcher for motorbike fans, and if you're an enthusiast of Snaefell Mountain Course, try out the game on Xbox, PlayStation or PC. Let us switch to the next game, and now we're talking to every motocross fan out there, because the next version of MXGP 2020, the official video game series for the World Championship in motocross, hits the stores on December the 10th this year. With 68 drivers and 19 tracks, Milestone's new game surpasses its predecessor in variety. On top of that, the track editor should help to increase the number of tracks and changes by far. So, if you want to get muddy on your own tracks, MXGP 2020 offers you the perfect opportunity. 110 different brands, as well as a large number of equipment items to modify and vary the look of your bikes, is ideal for every hobby mechanic. The handling of the bikes is pretty realistic and conveys the feeling of riding them perfectly. You'll feel like you're sitting on a motocross bike racing through the mud. On top of that, 2 mods, Playground and Waypoint, will increase the fun while riding your bike. Here, you can get on the motorcycle with 3 other friends in multiplayer. This is the perfect game, with much fun for motocross fans on PlayStation, Xbox and PC. Next up is a 2D side-scroller, and all you bike fans out there know already what's ahead of us. We're talking about the newest edition of Ubisoft's famous arcade game Trials, which was released in February 2019. Of course, it's not the typical race-to-win competition that racing enthusiasts are used to, but over 110 tricky levels that can be very demanding, even for experienced gamers. Tough challenges and motorbike sounds, nothing would be more fitting than a metal-based soundtrack, including famous bands such as Motorhead, Billy Talent, or Sum 41. Trials is definitely not a game for short-term fun. If you really want to get good, you need to invest time, and the game rewards this. You can achieve milestones and other trophies. You can find out how good you really are in a duel against other bikers. In addition to the co-op player mode and the online mode, you can also compete against the ghosts of your friends and ride until you beat their best time. A game like this obviously needs its own map editor, so you can create tracks that are even harder to handle than the ones already featured in the game. However, if you're a graphics fan, Trials may not be your choice. It's not breathtaking, and the Switch version sometimes doesn't even hit full HD and more than 30 FPS. It's still a lot of fun if you like tricky tracks and want to escape the standard race-to-win format. Number 2. MotoGP 2020. Do you want to drive like Valentino Rossi or Alex Marquez? The official MotoGP game of 2020 could be the perfect catch for you. Since 2013, Milestone's bike series has had a new release every year and fills fans of the series with enthusiasm. It's the perfect match for beginners, but also for experienced players, depending on how many driving assists you like to drive with. The career mode is a good way to get into the racing series. You can create your own driver, choose between 3 different classes, and manage your own organisation. With good results, you can help your staff develop a better bike so you improve on track. Ever since MotoGP 19, there are also dedicated servers for online mode. In the past, it was often torture to compete with other players, but now you get a stable racing experience. This continues with this part of the series. While the in-game part is excellent, the graphics are not. The textures aren't sharp, bugs appear, and sometimes it even looks like your back wheel isn't really touching the ground. So if you're looking for the ultimate racing simulation feeling, you'd better take a look at Ride 4, which was released on October the 8th this year. You can modify almost everything, starting with bikes, helmet and clothing, and on top of that, you get 170 bikes to take out for a spin. However, if you have just started driving in-game motorbikes, you won't feel as successful as in MotoGP. Ride 4 is definitely more focused on being a racing simulation, and therefore only experienced drivers will be quick straight off the bat. Good graphics, a realistic feeling, and a huge diversity of bikes makes Ride 4 a must-buy for racing enthusiasts. Of course, dedicated servers are also available for a smooth multiplayer experience. However, harsh punishments, a lack of fast restarts, and driving assists that are not as optimized as in MotoGP make it hard for beginners. So there you have it, 5 games that provide an awesome experience. If you're a two-wheeler fan, you will definitely have fun with any of the titles we've seen here. For more content about motorbikes, check out our website at overtake.gg and all the other videos on our YouTube channel.